Good evening. Please come to this wonderful question in your notes. X Limited is operating in coating industry. Its business segment comprise coating and others. So two segments, coating and others, consisting of chemical, polymers and related activities. Certain information for financial year 20x1 and 20x2 is given below. Segments are given, coating and others. External sale is given 2 lakh and 70,000. Tax is given. Other operating income. Result. Asset. Liabilities. Additional information. Unallocated revenue. Net of expenses. Unallocated revenue net of expenses is 30 crore. This here you write down figures in lakhs. Figures in lakhs is given. Interest and bank charges is rupees 20 crore. Income tax expense is 20 crore. Current tax 19.5 crore. Deferred tax 50 crore. Investment 1 crore and unallocated asset 1 crore. Unallocated liability, reserve and surplus, share capital, etc. 2 crore, 3 crore, 200 crore, 300 crore, 100 crores respectively. Depreciation amount for coating and others are 10 crore and 3 crore respectively. Capital expenditure for coating and others are 50 crore and 20 crore respectively. Revenue from outside India is 300 crore and segment asset outside India is 100 crore. So this will be required for entity-wide disclosures. How much revenue is within the domestic country, domicile and outside. How much assets are within India, how much assets are outside India. Some information is given here, some is given in the table, and then you have to prepare a proper segment report. Based on the above, how X Limited would disclose information about reportable segment, revenue, profit and loss, asset and liabilities for the year 2001 and 2002. Okay, so now you see the answer. How do you present segment information? So first point number A1, information about operating segment. So one narrative disclosure you will give. Information about operating segment, that company's operating segment comprise of coating, which is consisting of decorative, automobile, industrial paint and other related activities. Although this information was not given in the question, they have mentioned it. And other segment consisting of chemical, polymers and related activities. Now first you see you have to give disclosure about revenue. So you will follow on the screen how to give disclosure about revenue. You have to give revenue from external sale. First column in the question is external sale and next column is tax. Which tax is that? Indirect tax or direct tax? Indirect tax. So we will assume that the sales include that indirect tax, like for example GST, and rupees in lakhs. So external sale individually coating 2 lakh, then other 70,000, total 2 lakh 70,000. Less tax included in that 5,000, 3,000, 8,000. So your external sale will be 1,95,000, 67,000 and 2,62,000. Is there any other operating income also? Yes. So 40,000, 15,000. Total is how much? 55,000. And this is the disclosure requirement for revenue. Total revenue will be 2,35,000. This is how much? 82,000 and 3,17,000. So disclosure requirement will be given for revenue, external revenue net of any tax included in that, and if there is any other operating income directly attributable to segments, total revenue. Now you see the disclosure requirement relating to segment results. Results under that segment result. How much is the segment result in the question? Segment result is 10,000 and 4,000. Is it there? Say yes. 10,000, 4,000, so 14,000. And then we will reconcile it with our profit after tax in the statement of profit and loss. So many other items will not be individually written in the segment column but in the total column. For example, unallocated income, net of expense. Is it given in the question? How much is that? 30 crores. You are writing in rupees in lakhs. So remove 5 zeros. Write 3,000. So now this line is one line, profit before interest and taxation. Profit before interest and taxation, take 14,000 minus 3,000, plus 3,000. This is income. So this comes to 17,000. Then do we have any interest and bank charges? Yes. How much? This interest will not be allocated to the segment unless the activity is like investment activity, financing activity. Okay. Yes. Okay. Profit before tax. What is profit before tax? Profit before tax. Profit before tax is 15,000. Then income tax. Current tax, income tax is how much? Current tax. Current tax, come on. 1950. Deferred tax 50. All this in the last column. So total tax will be 2,000. So what will be profit after tax? Profit after tax will be 13,000. So this is the disclosure requirement related to segment result. And we have also simultaneously reconciled it with the profit and loss. This 13,000, no, you won't be able to see it, but in case the company is also preparing statement of profit and loss, then this profit after tax will be there. Now what is the next disclosure requirement? Segment assets. So point number 3, other information. Under other information, asset, segment asset. Have they given you separately segment asset? Yes. Tell me little fast. 50,000, 30,000, 80,000. Then investment. Investment will not be allocated. How much should I write? 10,000. All other asset will be written in total column. Is there any unallocated asset also? Yes. How much? 10,000. So total asset 1 lakh. So this will match with your statement of financial position, reconciliation. Now the next disclosure requirement is liabilities and shareholders funds. So segment liabilities which can be identified: 30,000, 10,000, 40,000. Unallocated liabilities there. How much? Is it there in the question? Question 20,000. Share capital 10,000. Reserve and surplus. So this will match with your liability side. How much is that? 1 lakh. So simultaneously reconciliation is also done. Profit with profit, income with income, asset with asset, liabilities with liabilities. And then the standard requires some special disclosures. So that will come in point C, others. Capital expenditure. The note says the capital expenditure are 5,000 and 2,000 respectively. Okay. So write in the first column 5,000. Second column write 2,000. Total column write 7,000. What about depreciation? Depreciation are 1,000, 3,000, 300. So 1,000. Okay. And then you have to give some geographical information. In geographical information, you have to give revenue. So to help you, they had given you revenue from outside India is 30,000. So first you put 30,000 here. Outside India. So we will have to draw two columns here. India. It's written in your notes. Outside India. So outside India is 30,000. How will you get these two figures? Total and India column. Total revenue. This figure 3 crore or this 3,17,000, right? So that you put in the total column. And then you balancing figure India. How much India revenue? 2,87,000. Right, balancing figure. Because I think this figure is not there in the question. Okay. And then one more disclosure you have to give. Segment asset in India, segment asset outside India. So you can see here total segment asset is 80,000. Total segment asset is 80,000. So write 80,000 here. Segment asset 80,000. And out of that, they have mentioned in the problem, segment asset outside India is 10,000. 10,000. This is given. So segment asset in India, right, balancing figure 70,000. Now let us identify capital expenditure. Capital expenditure for quoting and others are already you have written here 5,000, 2,000, total 7,000. But that was product wise. This last part of this table is geographical location wise. What is not given in the question? Outside India or in India, whether this 7,000 is India or outside India. Assume what? India. My India. Great India. So 7,000 assume within India. And then there are some notes for understanding purpose in the question. I'll read from there. You will see the answer is printed in your notes, yes or no? So you will write the following notes. The operating segments have been identified as per IFRS 8, taking into account the nature of the product, organizational structure, economic development, and internal reporting system. So how have you identified the segments? Disclosed. Segment revenue, segment result, segment asset, segment liabilities. Include the respective amount identifiable to each of these segments. Unallocated assets include unallocated fixed asset and other current asset. Unallocated liabilities include unallocated current liabilities and net deferred tax liability. corresponding figures for previous year have not been provided. However, in practical scenario, the corresponding figures would need to be given. This wonderful standard is over.